I feel like people go and approach and say, I need video testimonials. I need video testimonials. And they don't think about, like, hey, what's their objective? Where are they going to be publishing these? Right? Who's going to actually be looking at them? And what questions do they have when they're looking at them? So we always do a video audit with our customers where we try to ask them those questions ahead of time, because we've identified over 17 different types of video reviews / testimonials that you could actually be collecting.
Welcome back to the Outsourcing and Scaling Show. My guest today is Patrick Tedjamulia. Patrick, did I pronounce your last name correct?
You did. Excellent.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
No, excited to talk to you. You definitely have an interesting company, an interesting topic. For those of you that don't know, Patrick is the CEO of VideoPeel, the premier platform for video reviews and video testimonials. VideoPeel has helped brands grow conversions and sales by 80% plus. Before building VideoPeel, Patrick worked at Facebook, Google, General Mills, and Procter & Gamble. Patrick is passionate about helping consumers find the truth about products and services. We're going to talk all about that. But first, let's take a gigantic step back. What were you like growing up as a kid? Were you a straight A student? Were you a rebel? I know you had a bunch of real corporate jobs, but did you ever think you were going to be an entrepreneur?
So totally. I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. It always goes back to seeing my dad and my uncles and doing what they did, building, selling their companies, living through my dad's businesses that he built, international businesses that he built. As a student, was I a straight A student? I tried to be, man. I knew from the beginning that we were immigrants, right? My parents were immigrants to the United States. So I knew we had to work our butts off if we really wanted to achieve the goals that we aspired to, which was really to achieve your potential, right? And so that's what my dad always taught me, was like the limits you place on yourself are really the limits. The limits that you have are really the limits you place on yourself. And so I tried my best to get as many grades as I could, A's so I could get into the best school I could.
And what school was that? What was college life like for you?
Well, I really chose Brigham Young University because I really wanted that spiritual foundation. I truly believe in God and His plan for us. And then I went to Duke for my MBA because I wanted to go to the best marketing school period that had the best professors around marketing. So at the time it was Duke. So I really got into Duke, and I think it was a big part because of my parents really pushing me to get good grades.
All right. So talk to me about after college. What was your first job, and how did that go? And how did the entrepreneurial spirit play into that? Because you see a lot of people like me, for example, I was doing everything possible. So after college, I didn't have to go and work for a big company. It sounds like you went, and I think this is a smart route too. You went to those companies, you gained a lot of experience, and that probably helped you later on.
Oh yeah. So I was working before school. Right. I was working during school and I worked after school. So I was working the whole time. I was trying to pay for, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. I had to pay for my own 2-year mission to go and serve somewhere outside the country. And I served in South Africa and Mozambique. So I had to raise my own money to do that. I wanted to raise my own money to pay myself through school because I didn't want to put that burden on my parents. So I was always working. It was great. My first job, you asked. So while I was at BYU, this wasn't my first job, but I would say during college, I was working for Novell. So it's like the big networking company at the day. Eric Schmidt, who's chairman of Google, used to be the CEO of Novell. It was in Provo, Utah, right next to where my school was, and so I got an internship there while I was going to school. I felt like the coolest guy ever because I was like stepping out of class on a phone call with customers. I was like a beta manager. So I was helping launch products for Novell, like network, group-wise, email clients, stuff like that, software, while I was trying to do my classes at BYU, which I think is a great way to do it, to be honest with you, to get real world experience while you're learning, especially if it's related. And so I was studying information systems while I was working at the top networking company at its day.
Can you talk about what are the main takeaways that you got in the corporate life that someone like me who's never had a real job after college or other entrepreneurs are missing?
Wow. Well, I would say in the corporate world, you just have the faster ability to be able to implement scale, right? So for example, when I worked at Facebook, okay, we didn't have to necessarily hunt down for people to adopt our products. We already had a mass scale of people using our product.
Right.
So we could essentially go in and say, okay, I want to test this little tweak. I'm going to change the ad format for local awareness ads or for carousel ads. And then I want to test it on 1 million customers. You can do that, right? So that's the thing with big companies, is the ability to test in a way that you can instantly get results. That's not always the case with bigger companies, but in today's digital world, you have more companies that are that way. And so,
sorry, keep
go
going.
ahead. Yeah. So the learnings, right? The learnings from that is that you have to plan a lot further ahead, and you have to make your decisions with more data than you normally would. So in most cases, that's what I say is the big difference between startups, the one that I'm running right now, the one many people are doing right now, and bigger companies, is you have a lot more data because it's established, it has processes, and there's infrastructure set up so that you can look and analyze and make better decisions. Now it could be slower because of that. You know, in the days of when I was at Procter & Gamble, we had to wait months in order to get survey results back in order for us to make brand decisions, because it wasn't like the digital world we live in today, but still it was all based on data. So you had to go through the processes and, you know, and models by which you knew in the past have proven to be successful, right? And so those things are important. Like once you start growing, like we're seeing that now, right? We're getting so many video reviews right now that I have to be, you know, implementing processes in order for us to be able to scale.
Talk to me about VideoPeel. How did that idea come about? What did that first year look like?
Yeah, so it was cool. I was working at Facebook. I'm helping them build their ad platform, and I saw that every single advertiser on Facebook, no matter what vertical, no matter you know what industry you're in, they wanted more authentic content because their ads had to convert. If they weren't converting, they weren't reaching the audiences they wanted to. And if they weren't converting, it wasn't profitable for them. So how could we get them much more authentic content that would improve trust? Because we knew that what we had built basically, and I was part of it, right? Basically allowed anybody to say anything they wanted to anybody. It's really what the ad platform has enabled, right?
Right.
And that, as a result, trust needed to be, you know, almost reestablished by most brands, or established in the first place. And so how could they do that? How could they establish that trust? And so I knew there was a huge opportunity for us to figure out a way of helping brands be able to grow authentic content. And that's why I left Facebook. I said, okay, so I knew that there had to be a way to do this. How do we do this? And so I started doing research. I went back to my roots at Procter & Gamble, which was like, you need to go and research. You need to go talk to the customers. You need to understand what's going on. And so I did that. I tried to figure out, you know, what do people really want to know before they buy? And I talked to a ton of people and I asked them these questions, right?
Right.
And the real result for me was people want to know from people like them if a product really works and if it's right for them, right? Not an anonymous person, not somebody that is an actor, but someone that's really using the product. And especially if they can show right there that the product is working for them. And so that insight, we tested and researched that over a lot of different types of audiences. And we even tested it recently with a university that's doing a research study around the power of that improvement of trust and how video can really play a part in that, in helping people show the truth. And so I said, okay, how do we help consumers see the truth, and how do we help brands show the truth? Because you couldn't get consumers to see the truth unless you develop the system and the tools by which any brand could capture this truth, which is really real experiences from real people. And so we said, okay, well, let's just build the tools that enable people to do that. And so that's what VideoPeel is we've built the tools that enables brands, you know, entrepreneurs, medium, large size enterprises to request, collect, you know, real video experiences of their own customers or of people that they want to test their product. Right?
So People that have heard me talk about free up, I mean, we got it out with the minimum viable product. It's changed a million ways in the past 4 years. Is the idea of VideoPeel now very similar to that first year, or has a lot of changes come to place? And I'm not talking about like internal like process change. I'm talking about the overall business model and structure.
Yeah, when we started VideoPeel, it was all about how do we effectively, efficiently allow people to capture video quickly and allow people to then see the video, evaluate it, and use the video, right? So it's like allowing consumers to easily send video to brands, right? And then allowing brands to be able to then use that video. So that's what we focused on when we launched VideoPeel. And so it's always been like improving that. So now it's like people can get a request for a video and submit a video in like 4 clicks, right? It's super easy. They don't have to download an app or anything. And it's great for the brand. And so, yes, we've developed that, improved that, and gone beyond. So now, we know how to manage that video really well to allow you to then publish the video in all the places that matter most. And we're growing on how many places we can publish videos in, which is really cool for brands, because they can say, okay, wow, so you can help me collect videos and publish them on the places that matter.
I love it. And I know you use a lot of virtual assistants, you use a lot of freelancers. Can you talk a little bit about how you use them?
Oh yeah. So a big part of that is a lot of, so when brands come to us, they usually have products they currently are selling, and they have products they're about to launch.
Right.
Right. And so oftentimes they don't yet have customers for, newly, built or prototyped products. So how are you going to be able to get someone that fits a specific target criteria, like a target audience, to be able to test your product? Because you want them to ideally be people that eventually you think will buy your product. Right. So you can really see if this product will work, or, or maybe it won't. And then you want to capture that experience, because that would be great marketing content for once you launch. You then all of a sudden already have boom, 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 real social proof, right? And so for that, we're reaching out to a lot of, you call them freelancers, you can call them influencers, but they're people that are that meet a certain criteria. That, for instance, let's say a company is launching a new, a new water bottle, and their audience is really those hikers and those people that are out there doing a lot of outdoor things. We go out and we reach out. We have a network of over 10 million consumers and businesses. And so we can reach out to these people and we can invite them. And so it's really a freelancer type opportunity for them to test a product, to serve as a beta customer, and to be able to capture their experiences using it, and to show that experience and publish that experience. Now that's one side of things. And so we have a lot of companies that come to us because we're able to do that and find people any definition that you have, right? And then there's another side. We have people that come to us and say, okay, we want you to do video reviews, but we also want you to do product videos, right? So it's like, okay, we kind of want you to do all our video for us. And we ended up, from a full service standpoint, we're able to do that. And so what we often do is that we try to find the right videographers at the locations that these brands want to film in. So that's a big piece of us, is finding freelancers that are ideal for this specific type of product video. So let's say it's a fashion product video, right? Where a brand is trying to launch a new type of a hat or new type of shoes, which we have clients that do that. And then we have to find the right videographer at the location where they want to film the video, right? And then I'll go beyond that, which is developers. We're growing so fast that our customers are asking us for so many different features, right? And so it's like, okay, so tomorrow I want to be able to launch this video contest, but then have a specific type of voting capability that allows my consumers to vote on which specific video should win, right? Okay, so we have to build this feature, right? And so if our bandwidth in our current development team is really at a point where we can't build that feature, and we need this for a customer that wants to launch their video contest like in about a week, it allows us to, we can then get that freelancer to help help us to enable that new feature to be added to our platform.
Can you talk about the internal structure? I mean, you're at the top. Do you have a business partner? Do you have account managers? Do you have VAs under them? What does that structure look like?
Yeah, so we've divided up the organization. Of course, we have my co-founder. He's the CTO, and so he heads up all our dev, right? And so he's the one that manages our developers. He's the manages recruiting for freelance developers and others, bringing some full time or keeping some freelance. And so he handles that side of the business. The side of the business when it comes to sales, right? I'm directly over. And so we have a team that helps push that out. And so we have salespeople in different places of the world. And then on top of that, related to sales, we have account management, just like you're hinting at, right? So every single one of our enterprise level clients, these are people that we need to have someone that's managing their account because it's a heavier account. It's from a heavier meaning from there's more needed from us to be able to do that, right? And so we have the account managers and we have those that really are the success engineers that are helping to ensure that every campaign they do is successful.
That makes sense. What tips can you give in terms of building a culture? Because you've got people that are remote, you got people that are internal, you got freelancers in different states that are doing videos. What kind of communication is there, and what kind of culture do you build?
Good question. I think for us, it's one thing that I've established early on, which is is culture. I feel like you can try to build, but it ends up being built itself. And so what you need to do is provide the guiding principles so that it can be built within your company. Right. And the best way to do that is through examples, in my opinion. And so what I like to do is I like to provide examples of the types of communications that I think we need to have as a company, because those end up developing your culture. So when I was at Facebook, Zuckerberg did this really well, right? In a meeting, he would lead, and he would show the example of how he wanted to have really open communication. And he did that in his weekly meetings for the entire company, where anybody could really talk to him and ask him questions. He did that because if someone emailed him, he responded like this. So I was a product guy on the ad team, right? Not necessarily his number one guy, right? But I was someone important to him, and he would respond to me just like this. It's amazing. And that's the kind of culture I was trying to instill here to our company. If a customer comes out and you lag your email reply, even if it's like more than 24 hours, that's a culture, right? That you've now said was acceptable. But if you say once a customer sends you an email, you need to reply. Even if you don't know the answer, you need to reply within, let's say it is a reasonable 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all right? Even if you can't tell them the results right now, but you need to share with them that you're there, so that our culture becomes a culture of total customer success, customer service, that we know that communication is key.
I love it. Let's talk about video testimonials. I mean, I grab them for free up. I know that other clients are doing them for their products, for their service. What is some of the biggest mistakes that you see?
So I feel like people go and approach and say, I need video testimonials. And they don't think about, okay, what's their objective? Where are they going to be publishing these? Right? Who's going to actually be looking at them? And what questions do they have when they're looking at them? So we always do a video audit with our customers where we try to ask them those questions ahead of time, because we've identified over 17 different types of video reviews / testimonials that you could actually be collecting. It's not just one size fits all, because at the end of the day, you're optimizing conversions of whatever place these videos are published in. And in the world of video, the amount of engagement that you can have increases the opportunity for conversion. What I mean by that is that with static, there's less engaging aspects to that media file. With video, the engagement level is bigger, which means that there's more opportunities for conversion. And so if you're not thinking about the objectives, you're not thinking about the type of videos that you actually are requesting from customers, then you're not answering the questions that will ideally convert you. So if you have a landing page that you want to get videos, testimonials on there, you need to understand what people are asking when they're coming to that page. What are the 3 main questions? It's a simple thing, and actually it's not that simple when you don't know. And so we also have a product where we can help you figure out what people are wanting to know when they come to your website. Most people don't know the answer to that question. And we do that because we are able to collect videos of people coming to your website. And then you can then say, okay, the 3 questions most people are asking when they come to my site are 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then let's collect videos where people are responding to those exact questions. And then the more you know about who's visiting your site, you should have people in that video that are like them. Because we know from our data that the more like a person is to you, the more likely you will increase your purchase intent because your trust level goes up, right? So we're trying to measure trust in all of the variables we can. And we see that, yeah, with a more trustworthy person, you are more likely to purchase and more likely to convert. So it's a great way for you to better understand your customer. And it's not just, hey, let me just get a video testimonial tomorrow. You can do that and it'll be helpful, but there's always ways to optimize.
This has been great. Is there anything that I missed about hiring, about video testimonials, about VideoPeel?
Yeah, I would say we would love to help in any of your businesses. You know, if it's small or if it's large businesses, if you're selling on Amazon, whatever it is, if it's B2B, if it's B2C, we can help. And I'm putting a special offer for Nathan and everybody at FreeUp. Everybody that's using FreeUp or everybody that wants to know about FreeUp. If you want to use VideoPeel to help you with, collecting and managing and publishing video testimonials, video reviews, we have a 30% promotional code, which we're just going to call it FreeUp. So that Nathan, you can use and you can have anybody else use, and it's for a lifetime. So whenever they use that, then we're happy to help them.
Awesome. Where can people find out more about you, and what are you most excited about for the rest of the year?
So I don't know if, so you can find me through videopeel.com or just Patrick Tedjamulia on LinkedIn. And I'm most excited about a new feature we launched called live video reviews. So if you imagine the world we live in is instant, and everything is happening now. And real live people talking about your products now is where we should be. And most customers and most brands aren't there, and most retailers aren't there. So if you're a brand and you want to have an advantage over your competitors, you could totally jump into the live video review space. And so we are providing that as a solution, specifically through Amazon and through Facebook right now, and we're going to grow how we do this. But you can have live video reviews that are running on Amazon.com/live. I'm serious. Like, people should be doing this. It doesn't cost them anything to do live broadcasts on Amazon if you're selling on Amazon, but you can also do this on Facebook, and we can help you with it.
I love it. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Nathan. I really appreciate everything that you do and what you're providing for so many people.